afternoon, viewers, and welcome back to your weekly dose of youth news. This is Generation C, which is the perfect show on a Tuesday to show you why The Zone, which is a weekly insert in the Namibian Sun, Republikein, and Algemene Zeitung newspapers, is the perfect grab for a Tuesday. My name is Maricel Stoffberg, and we are very excited to again bring you all news related to youth. So with just a few hours left of being able to register for our regional councils and local authority elections later this year, with polls closing for you to register, we are very excited to have a representative from I Am Voting Namibia in studio today. So this is a youth organization that shows us why it's important for us to get our youth involved in our elections and ensuring that they remember the importance of voting and using that vote to make it count. But before we kickstart this exciting program, we next up have a very cool video showing you what the MyZone brand, which is the youth brand of Namibia Media Holdings, can offer you. So, after face-to-face learning has resumed again in the country for grades 4 to 6 and also for grades 7 to 9 in the Khomas region, some of our journalists had the privilege of on Monday going by a few schools to see what the situation was like, speak to some parents and principals. So next up are two videos made by Monique Adams and Enzo Amwele to show you what things were like with the resumption of face-to-face classes.
I teach grade 6 and grade 7, yes. Science teacher. Yeah, welcoming the learners back, it's back and forth because we are fearing of this COVID. It's tough to have them back, but then it's also another way just to accept the new normal so that they can continue with teaching and learning and assist. This is the future of the learners that you're having at hand. So yeah, having them back, we welcome them, but then we have to take precaution because of this COVID-19.
The first sign is called greater than or bigger than, and then the second one is smaller than or less than, and the last one is equal to. Now, if you are not careful, when you look at the two signs, the first two, they look almost the same. The only difference is that the other one is facing on the other side and the other one is facing on the other side, on the opposite side. That's the only difference between the two. Now, when it comes to their names, sometimes it's easier to get confused. You don't know which one is bigger than and which one is smaller than. So, in order for you to know which one is smaller than and which one is bigger than, when you look at the two signs,
there is one of our pre-primary teacher. However, she is also incorporated to also assist in making sure that the learners are not left unattended. We are really, really excited. As you can see, the classes are well prepared. We are also very much grateful to our parents who has been doing and giving different types of contribution, money, in kind, and moral support. Because of their support, as you can see, most of our classes are new, revamped, fresh. We can move on to the other class, just so that you can see. These are some of the procedures that is expected from us according to the COVID rule. So we have placed different spots. The washing basin where the children are able to wash their hands and sanitize them. Really, really thank you to our parents once again. I'm really a proud principal. really. It's most of the time that we tend to forget to thank our parents for the support. And I want to make use of this opportunity to thank our parent community for every cent, the moral support, their prayers, really. We are good to go.
I'm in grade 6 here. I feel so happy to be back at school and learn so I can continue with my life. Education is the best.
My name is Tasha, my surname is Kuyaman. I'm in grade 7A, and online school was very hard because I could not focus and I was taking care of people at home, like my baby brother. It was very hard to concentrate. Being back at school was exciting, but then it was also hard because I had to keep social distance with my friends and all.
It's been 6 months and they have rested well, so I hope they are very, very, very ready to start. Time is not on our side, so we should stay positive. Obstacles might come our way, but then we still need to stay positive and push. Yeah. Wat moet je maken om veilig te wees? Wat moet je aangedragen? Mask. En dan moet je nog wat maken? Excuse? Was je handen. En als je moest, wat moet je maken? En je wat? Dat is gezegd? Dank je.
After such a long time, it's so overwhelming to have our kids back. We are so happy that we can have our people back with us. It has been a long wait for them. We are so ready and prepared for them. And we are glad that the parents can entrust them finally with us. It's really a huge relief for us teachers who have been put on and off every time to have our kids. So at last, we thank God that our kids are safe and sound and they are with the people that love them very much.
So on our front page for today is none other than the local model. She's a singer, she's a dancer, and she's an actor, the beautiful Leanne Magson, who has once again won an amazing amount of titles and medals at the Talent Africa National Competition. So this time around, and wait for it, it's a lot. This time around, Leanne brought home 25 gold medals, 1 silver medal, a top 10 junior dancer placement, a top 10 junior model placement. There's more, a top 10 Eisteddfod placement, a top 5 junior photographic model placement, and best junior dance choreography placement. In addition, she also earned a number of titles, which include the International Face of Talent Africa, a triple threat junior winner, Namibia Face of Talent Africa, and the Public Choice of International Talent Africa. It is amazing to see what Leanne has been able to accomplish and what she's been doing and making the most of the talents she has been given. But we do not end there. So next up, we have a very, very important story, and it's straight to us all the way from the coast. So the Nara Primary School in KZN received a very large donation from Hungry Lion and the Tuna Core Fisheries Group. So this donation comprised of them receiving Hungry Lion meals. They received 110 masks, 1,010 masks, 50 liters of sanitizer, 2 water stations, as well as 2 new tippy taps. The Tunakor group also donated 40 water stations to the school. So next up is also a video made by our colleague Leandria Low all the way from the coast to capture the magic that happened at the primary school.
To touch anything, we rather pour the soap inside the bucket, inside the black bucket, where the water is. Mix it already with the water, and then Clemens, you can put it down. Thank you. Then you step for us on the step just from the side, né? Stand towards this side so that they can see you. Virika. Where you were standing first, then you just step on the tap. Yeah, on the tappy tap. Do you see that the water is coming out? So that is how they wash their hands. So it is already soapy water. We don't have to touch a dispenser because we don't want the learners to get into contact touching a dispenser. So that is the idea, and each and every classroom received that, as well as we will see also at the feeding scheme where we have our learners break time where they are eating the fish and the bread. So that is what's happening. The girl can also try. So that was the idea. Thank you so much for that kind gesture. It really helped us, because the buying of the hand sanitizers could have been costly along the way. Obviously, we will still buy it, but the buying power will be limited this time around. Thank you, Clemens. Thank you.
In other news, the Media Information Literacy Learning Initiative, MILI, also recently ran a 3-day workshop in Keetmanshoop that aimed to educate young media professionals on the importance of media literacy. So 8 participants completed this workshop, and they also received certifications for attendance, and they received on top of comprehensive information that they were able to require. Our focus for this week touches on the Walvis Bay Private High School with their who said farewell to their long-serving principal, Ms. Estelle Eigelaar, on 31 August. So Ms. Eigelaar has been a tremendous addition to the school, and she has retired after 24 years and 6 months. So to read more about her story, please grab yourself a copy of The Zone, which is inserted in all NMH's daily publications. We can't give away everything, so you need to grab yourself a paper and read to see the insight that this woman has added to the school in Walvis Bay. And the last story that we will be sharing with you for today is NSFAF, who intends to reduce non-tuition fees of all students from 17,000 to just 11,000. So the student unions have also opposed a laptop initiative by NSFAF. The initiative was recommended by the fund to help students access e-learning platforms, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Under the Higher Education COVID-19 Support to Namibian Students, the initiative was set to cost at around 180 million to supply more than 32,000 laptops. But next up, I hope you are as excited as I am, because we will be having an interview with a representative from I Am Voting Namibia to teach us all about the importance of voting and of the youth's involvement within voting. So today in studio, we are very privileged and very excited because we are joined by two representatives from I Am Voting Namibia. So with our elections almost here and today the last day being that we can register to vote, we thought it very wise to have these young inspiring individuals with us to share the importance of having our youth involved. So if you guys can just introduce yourself to our viewers and tell them what your specific roles are that you play at I Am Voting Namibia.
Thank you. I'll go first. My name is Ashley Schwartz. I am the Secretary General of I Am Voting Namibia. My duty is to ensure that the whole communication system within our structures are well formed and that our chief coordinators and as well as coordinators in different regions have the necessary information at all the times. So yeah, that's my role as the Secretary General.
Right, this is my turn. My name is Albert Moses, and I'm the Director of Finance and Operations at I'm Voting Namibia. I think my roles are not far from what the SG, because SG deals with all the communication.
Yes.
And she's somehow involved with communicating to everyone, even the external guys. So my roles fall in that regard as well. But I'm mostly focused on dealing with the groundwork, the dealing with the chief coordinators and how they should go about campaigning, making sure that information is out there for the youth to really know why it's important for them to vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's very exciting because I have the double A's with me in studio. Okay, mine's an M, so it can be like ma'am. No, ma. Or it can be am. I don't know. So we can kick off today with something very important. I think it's a question that a lot of our youth are having at this point. The difference, what sets these elections apart, our local authority elections and our regional authorities, what sets this apart from our presidential elections? Because a lot of questions are, why should I vote again? What makes this different from the last time that I voted?
Okay, basically the presidential and the National Assembly elections.
Yes.
That's for the national representation of the country.
Yeah.
But the regional and local elections, that's for the representation from the roots of the country, such as the constituencies and the regions.
Yeah.
So basically, the systems work in a sort of a link for the national representatives of the country to be able to have like a sort of communication link, like what is like happening on the roots levels of the country. So basically that's it. It's the same thing like our structures as well. So basically regional and local authorities are there to bring the government closer to the national representatives of the country. So one can't exist without the other.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's say if we only have now a presidential elections, like how is the president going to know what is happening in Opuo or let's say in Otavi? So that's the part where the regional and the local authorities come into play, so that the president and our representatives at national level can have the correct information in regards to the type of policies that they need to implement in our country to serve the Namibian people well. So basically that's the difference. And hence it's also important for the youth to partake in these elections, because these people are the ones that are serving them and are supposed to be the voice of them in the parliament.
Yes,
so, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I can add also, I think for me, in a really big nutshell, the difference for me would...
very big nutshell.
Yeah, a very big one. I think the difference for me would be, for presidential, everyone that is eligible to vote is allowed to vote.
Yes.
As for regional council and local authority, it's only those that are in their constituencies that you are allowed to vote for the specific people that are running for that office in your regional constituency. So that's also just to differentiate and bring clarity to the point of why should I vote twice. Yeah.
I think that would be giving a lot of our youth some clarity on what these elections entail. But maybe a bit more also about I Am Voting. What do you guys do to create awareness amongst our youth for them to become a part of these upcoming elections and to encourage them to vote and to use that right that they have and that responsibility wisely?
Yeah, okay, if I may, Under my office, I think that's what I'm actually mostly focusing on, to make sure that information is really disseminated throughout the country for the youth to really know, why am I voting?
Yeah.
In the past, I think, or until this point, we still have the gap between people just voting for the sake of voting, and not really knowing why, and voting because it's a hype kind of thing. Everyone is going to vote, so I'm also going to vote, and not really knowing, okay, why is it important for me to vote? Because end of the day, politics play a very, very major role in our lives. You wake up tomorrow and the price for bread is $12, and you wonder why. Somewhere, a political decision was made that somehow affected it economically, and then brought it to the point whereby you woke up and the bread is $12.
Yes.
You see, that's an example. Like, so that's why we come in as I'm voting and say, listen, our aim is to generally just bring information, voters education to the youth, so that they can know that as much as I'm young and I feel like politics is not really my thing, it's not you getting involved in politics, it's you airing your voice and saying, listen, I believe and I trust this particular candidate to take a public office because he or she looks capable of delivering and bringing upon development in a specific area or region.
Yeah.
So I think that's our main aim, and we really look at using social media platforms as a means of disseminating information.
Yeah.
We host events on campuses so that people can know, so that students can, and I think when you create a sort of a nice trend behind it,
yes,
and eventually you want to know, okay, what are these guys all about? What are they really doing? Oh no, they are educating the other youth. They themselves are the youth, and they are educating the youth to really get involved in not in politics, but in getting to choose who their leaders will be.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we are the future leaders of this country, so we might as well take responsibility now.
Yes.
Let me also add on to that. This is also sort of linked to the first question. Let's say, okay, mostly people only blame the top people, like the president and the ministers and so forth.
Yeah.
But if the grassroots is not fixed, nothing can be done
Definitely,
at the top. So these people, even for the top, representatives to function,
yes,
and to know what to do, they need the grassroots.
Definitely.
So if we do not sort of choose the people that are going to rightfully represent us, then that's also like the main thing that's causing this chaos in our country. So like we also said, most people are interested in the whole presidential elections. Like everyone wants to partake in that. But when it comes to regional and local authorities elections, it's quiet, that trend is not there. But these are our representatives that are like directly affecting our daily lives, So like that's also the main reason why we took up this initiative to educate the youth on the importance of the regional and local authorities in our country. Yeah, we can't without them. Without the foundation, there's nothing that the head can do. Yes.
I think it's exciting to have people who are so passionate at the steer of things, and people who can set this example to our youth, what you can do if you just invest. And I think that's exciting that your organization is doing and representing our youth. But in terms also of the nature of politics, how can we get our young people to understand the nature of politics in the upcoming elections without influencing their views? Because that's another important role that you play. So not advocating for certain people or certain parties, but remaining objective.
Okay, like Albert said, we're just here to educate. That's it. And that's what the youth lacks. They do not have the necessary knowledge. When you do not have the necessary knowledge, you do not have the awareness to maybe make a decision, because you feel like it's not important based on the past knowledge that you have. So we're just here to sort of educate them about the roles and responsibilities of the regional and local authorities. And once we are done doing that, it's up to them to now decide, okay, am I going to cast a vote or not?
Yeah.
So we are just the educators, and we are just here to raise awareness on how important these elections are.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think if I can also add, it if one have to look at it at the point of, I personally like quoting the Bible. It's an amazing book. The verse that speaks of my people will perish because of lack of knowledge, and I think that's where we come in and say, okay, people don't do things because they don't know, right, or because they don't have information about it. And with the regional council and local authority elections, I think the gap always comes in as to who are these guys?
Yeah.
What are they supposed to be doing? Not taking into consideration as to whether the candidate is a SWAP or is a whatever political party, but is who are they and what are their responsibilities? And like Ashley mentioned, we then come and say, listen, this is what they are supposed to be doing. At the regional council and local authority level, their job is to make sure that their constituency has electricity, there's water, road infrastructure is up to standard. If there's something wrong, as a community member, I must be more than willing and capable of running to my councillor's office and say, listen, this is the problem we have in our community, and he or she must be able to come up and provide solutions. If it's a bigger issue, that's when you also you table it to a higher office. You take it to Parliament, and then it's addressed on a bigger scale. So I think it's really addressing the roles and responsibilities of our local and regional candidates, so that our people are aware that, okay, candidate number A looks capable, and that's why I'm going to vote for him or her. You know.
I think that's also important advice, especially for our first-time voters who are taking first time that they're going to be drawing the little cross or pressing the button. And I think that's important for them to remember that you need to look at the capabilities of that specific individual and what they can bring to the table and how they can help us to ensure that this country is governed. We want to thank you guys so much for the work that you do, and thank you so much for being a voice for our youth. So before we say goodbye, what would your last message be to our voters, especially those first-time voters, but also those voters who are voting for the second time again, or maybe the third or the fourth, what they should remember and what they should take out of these elections?
Okay, first and foremost, if you do not vote, you have no right to complain.
Yes.
And the most important thing that we as the youth need to consider in our minds are, these are our representatives. These are the people that are governing us, and they are going to govern us for the next 5 years.
Yes.
And that's like a lot of years. So take the decision now and vote for the right candidate.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, like Albert said, they are going to have a huge effect on your life, not only on the ground level, but as well as nationally.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah.
My advice to the new ones, the first time, the newbies, yes, it's a sort of a thrilling kind of experience. You are now at that age where you feel like I'm grown, I can vote, right? Don't let the excitement get over you. Find out who you are voting for. Find out if the person is capable, and if they are, cast your vote, because your vote is a way of you contributing to your country actually, and saying, listen, I have contributed with my voice by voting and saying I choose him to add to the development of a community. And for those that have been voting, it's a matter of understanding that choosing someone to lead you in some way, doesn't matter whether in office or at home, they are the ones leading the path to wherever you're going. As a country, to wherever we're going, they are the ones leading us. So when you go vote, I believe, and I would like to believe, that you guys are going to vote for the candidates that you believe are really able to carry you through for the next 5 years. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. And to everyone watching at home, please remember that your time to register is running out. So please take up this responsibility and this privilege that you have and this right you have to vote. And make sure you stay tuned to I Am Voting Namibia to see what these amazing youngsters are up to, what they are doing and the impact they are making. And also stay tuned to the MyZone Facebook pages to keep you updated on the latest youth news. Thank you guys so much.
No, thank you for having us.
That's it from us. Please remember to stay safe and to share all your youth news with us. You can do this by sending us a message on Facebook or dropping us a DM on Instagram. And if you have anything else that you would like to send us, please email them to justicia@myzone.com.na. That's it from me, Marisol Stoffberg. Please stay safe and enjoy the rest of your week.